Worcester and Anderson gonna get it going. They fire together at the blue pool noodle in 4. We're underway. Not a great start from the 4, but great start from the 09 of Barrick as they're 3-4 wide even into turn 1 in the mini stocks. Wild action already down the back straightaway. It's Clinton Barrick away with the lead from 4th. Pagnotta trying to hang on to 2nd as they're 3 wide behind him for 3rd. Into 3 and 4. Kenny Hare down low, LaFontaine up top. Tyler LaFontaine will take over 3rd and looking for more, trying to get to the inside of Pagnotta.
Clinton Barrick with a big jump right out of the get-go as he jumps into the early lead. The 13 car of Vincent Pagnotta there in the 2nd. Tyler LaFontaine in 3rd, trying to go to the outside line to catch Pagnotta, but to no avail. Kenny Hare up there in 4th. Clinton Barrick really looking strong here in the early goings of heat number 1.
Barrick right up on the top side. You can see him really rim riding it through 1 and 2. Single file amongst the top 4 now. Worcester doing battle there with Obey for the 5th spot. Give the spot to Obey as they work into 3 and 4. Coming a halfway this time with Clinton Barrick out front.
3 laps into heat number 1. Clinton Barrick still holding on to the lead. Vincent Pagnotta, however, is trying to go to the inside of Barrick to catch him. No avail. Single file actually throughout this entire heat at the moment. Coming up on 2 laps to go here in heat number 1. 2 laps in. Clinton Barrick is your leader. Vincent Pagnotta in 2nd. Tyler LaFontaine in 3rd.
Top 3 cars breaking away from the rest of the pack in this one. LaFontaine trying to get around Pagnotta, but hasn't been able to close the gap. LaFontaine in that 96 car, totally the dominant car of the season so far. We'll see what he's got tonight. White flag in the air one more time around for Clinton Barrick. Barrick leads it into turn 1. Pagnotta sails it in on the bottom side, trying to close the gap. Can't do it. Up off of turn 2. Here comes Barrick to pull out another car length or so down the back straightaway. Into 3 and 4 for the final time. Here comes Clinton Barrick out of turn 4. Checkers are in the air, and it's Clinton Barrick who will win heat number 1 for the Van Sickle Pet Value PV on the lane 4 cylinders. He wins it over the 13 of Pagnotta, the 96T of LaFontaine, Obey, and Hare. Adler and Hadler and James McDonald on the front row. But quickly, it's the Hardy 7C who's going to get by on the inside and go straight to 2nd. Dylan Ward on the outside in that 13 SOS towing truck, trying to make a move to the inside now of Hardy for 2nd. 3 cars under a blanket, 4 cars make that run under a blanket, battling there up off of 4 as Ward gets loose. He's going to slide in, try to save it. Wow, everybody watch out. Dylan Ward makes a great save. And everybody else dodges that 13 truck, and that leaves Hadler in the 7C of Hardy. Hadler out of turn number 2. He's away with the lead early in this one.
2 laps into heat number 2. Richard Hadler with the early advantage. Cole Hardy not too far behind him. Trying to find the line to catch him. Looked like he's going to go to the inside of Hadler to catch him. And look at right there. He just caught him for that lead. He is now in the lead so far. And Rothwell also there as well. Halfway through heat number 2. It is actually side by side now between Hadler and Hardy.
Hardy trying to take the lead at the stripe. He was able to nose ahead just by the slimmest of margins. Now up off to turn 2 down the back straightaway. 7C is clear to the lead over Richard Hadler. Hadler now has to look to his mirror to dodge the Hannah Rothwell 114, which is moving to the inside. Hardy out in front. Top 4 cars under a blanket.
2 laps to go here in heat number 2. Cole Hardy holding on to the lead. Richard Hadler there in 2nd, side by side actually for the 3rd spot between John Lubeck and Hannah Rothwell. Hannah Rothwell looking to go to the inside of Hadler. The catcher for that 2nd spot didn't quite work out. White flag in the air. Cole Hardy still with it.
Hadler doing everything he can to hang on to 2nd as now he's challenged by the 14L of Lubeck, who gives him a shot up off of turn number 2. That actually costs Lubeck as here comes Hannah Rothwell to try to take 3rd. Cole Hardy out in front. He'll see the checkered up off of turn 4. Checkers in the air. Give it to Hardy. Hadler settles for 2nd, and I think Rothwell, yes, Hannah Rothwell was able to get 3rd at the line after Lubeck got loose Up off of turn 4, Dylan Ward rounds out your top 5 in heat number 2.
This will be a 6-lap heat.
Allway and Deagle on the front row, green flag in the air. Deagle's going to get away with the jump. DeBoer follows suit as he's trying to pull alongside Allway. Allway fights back on the inside now as the 34 is going to clear to the lead. Good turn from Allway. 34R out in front. Now Moulton trying to follow suit on the bottom side. Here comes Jay Moulton. Moulton on the inside of Deagle. Down the front stretch, Allway, Moulton trying to make a move into turn 1.
Just starting there, side by side for the lead between Allway and Moulton. Moulton looking to go way on the outside there to catch him. Not quite working out the way he was hoping for. The number 23 car of Trevor DeBoer right there in the mix as well. The early goings of heat number 3. It is side by side for the lead between Moulton and the number 34.
Moulton's going to clear Allway that time in the middle of 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, he'll look to gap Allway. Randy Allway running second, having a good start to this heat for the 34 car. Trevor DeBoer lurks there in the 23. Up off of turn 4, Moulton still in control. Allway, DeBoer, Worstrow, and Buscom's now going to get around Deagle. Top 5 cars, single file, make that the whole field single file right now.
Halfway through heat number 3. Actually, number 10 of Jay Moulton, your leader. Randy Allway up there in third. Allway trying to find a line to catch him. They didn't quite work out the way he was hoping for. 71 of Worstrow trying to make a move there. 2 laps to go into heat number 3. Jay Moulton still your leader.
Moulton out front. That's Randy Allway, DeBoer, Worstrow. Those are the top 4 cars. DeBoer not really making much ground on Allway. Allway able to kind of ride comfortably there. White flag in the air for Jay Moulton. He's starting to really check out on the field. It's Moulton, Allway, DeBoer, Worstrow, and Buscom down the back straightaway. Here comes Moulton into turn 3 and 4 for the final time. Jay Moulton sees the checkered and he will win heat number 2. Allway gets a little loose, but DeBoer will hang on. Will not be able to get him there, so Allway runs up second. DeBoer, Worstrow, and Buscom's rounding out the top 5. The 8 of Gavin Hill's elected to go tail. That allows Cohen Corbett to get the jump on the inside row, and Corbett's off with the lead. Now he's got the 6 of Meisner following suit, and now Meisner's actually going to take the spot. Rob Meisner straight out in front of this one after a bold pass through turn 3 and 4. That car looks strong early in this one.
Rob Meisner got the early jump out there, starting out in the 5th spot and now moving his way all the way up into the lead and looking pretty strong here as he comes onto turn number 4. The number 32 car of Cohen Corbett out there in second. The number 14 of Chance Kotar up there in the 3rd, started at the very back of the pack. And the early goings of heat number 1, it is Rob Meisner, your leader.
Meisner already out to about a half straightaway advantage. He is on it. Cohen Corbett rides second, Chance Kotar 3rd. Tyler Winger, the only other driver to win a Mod Light feature not named Begalo. He's got 2 of them on the year, and he's also your points leader coming into tonight. Looking for more strong momentum and strong performance from the 4. See if he can hang on to the lead a couple weeks longer, maybe make this his championship to lose.
2 laps to go here in heat number 1. Rob Meisner really looking good here with over a 3.5 second lead over Cohen Corbett and Chance Kotar. Tyler Winger up there in 4th. 291 to Dave Cornish up there in 5th. Coming up on the last lap of heat number 1, Rob Meisner really looking strong here.
Rob Meisner out for a Saturday night cruise early in this heat. Winger's going to try to find a way around Kotar, almost gets into him. That action for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th position happens almost a half track behind Rob Meisner, who now is seeing the checkered flag. Out of turn 3 and 4, Winger's going to sail it around the outside. He'll get Kotar, but he won't be able to get Corbett. Cohen Corbett finishes 2nd, Tyler Winger 3rd, Chance Kotar 4th, and Dave Cornish 5th.
And rounding out the field is the number 6 Z car of Greg Zach from Dane City, Ontario. This will be a 6-lap heat.
Green flag in the air. Watson away with it as they're almost 4 wide, 3 wide. Josh Slider shot out of a cannon, and he goes straight to the lead. Watson slows on the inside and is dropping more spots now as the 26 of Pitts is going to get around him. Good run from RJ Pitts from 4th to 2nd in the first lap, and Slider from 3rd to 1st. He leads lap 1.
Lap 1. Josh Slider looking pretty good here, the early goings. RJ Pitts holding on there in the second, almost single file throughout this entire heat. Coming up on 2 laps into heat number 2. Josh Slider, your leader, followed by RJ Pitts, side by side for 3rd spot.
Josh Slider already checking out on the field. Was strong in his heat last week before struggling in the feature. We'll see what Slider's got for us tonight. Halfway at the stripe, and the Tender Cuts Quality Meats car out in front with Slider, Pitts, with Toddy, Bigelow, and Anderson.
Halfway through heat number 2, Josh Slider with about a 1.5 second lead over RJ Pitts and Sean Toddy. Actually side by side there with the number 27 pair of Toddy trying to go all the way onto the inside there to catch him, actually the outside rather of Bigelow. Coming up on 2 laps to go here. Actually, it is 2 laps to go. Josh Slider really looking strong here in heat 2.
Josh Slider sees the white flag in control of this race. RJ Pitts second, with Toddy narrowly hanging on to 3rd as Bigelow's all over his back bumper. Down the back straightaway comes our leader, Josh Slider, into 3 and 4 for the final time. Josh Slider on the inside, slides it up off the corner. He'll see the checker. Josh Slider takes the heat number 2. Bigelow gets 3rd. RJ Pitts was 2nd. Bigelow 3rd. Iftadi and Anderson. Couture and Lampman will lead him to green. Flag is up, pedals are down, away we go in this one. Jim Lampman around the outside is going to make the play for the lead. He'll take the lead. Murray's going to go through the middle and come from row number 3 up to 3rd spot already. Good move from Murray there that time through 1 and 2. Now he'll challenge the bat rod into turn 1 for 2nd.
Jim Lampman with the early advantage here. John Couture holding there into the 2nd. Rob Murray trying to go onto the inside of Couture to catch him for 2nd spot. Johnny Lampman holding steady there in 4th. The early goings of heat number 1 here. The Hoosier saw Jim Lampman with a good ride out here. Here's your early leader, followed by Rob Murray, John Couture, and Johnny Lampman.
Jim Lampman has a couple car length advantage, almost a half straightaway now. That car really starting to check out on this field. Rob Murray is running 2nd comfortably. Donnie Lampman trying to make a move to the inside of Couture. Can't make it stick. But good car control from Donnie there as he could have really wiped out both him and Couture. You see these cars definitely fighting towards the outside lane early in this one.
Halfway through heat number 2, Jim Lampman still holding on strong to the lead. About a 2-second lead there over Rob Murray. And John Couture holding there in the 3rd. Donnie Lampman right there on his tail with Couture for that 3rd spot. So Jim Lampman really looking good here in the early goings here of heat number 1. Coming up on 1 more lap to go here in heat number 1. Jim Lampman, your leader.
Halfway this time. 3 laps now to go. Jim Lampman just blistering this field. 2 laps to go now for Lampman. Murray. Couture is starting to get a little bit of distance between Donnie Lampman. As Donnie Lampman's having to fight back on the outside lane. If he wants to hold on to that spot, he might come under fire from the 50 of Schneider. And Schneider's the only car really working the inside line. Now Murray tries to dip down low. Couture follows him. White flag in the air. Jim Lampman is gone on this field. Car's starting to search around now, trying to figure out where the speed is going to be later in this one. I'd be asking Jim Lampman as he comes out of turn 4, as he's got something figured out. Jim Lampman puts a hurting on him in heat number 1 of the Hoosier stocks. He'll win it over Murray, Couture, Donnie Lampman, and Chris Schneider. Front row fires together at the blue cone. Green flag in the air, and it's Fontaine with the jump. He'll go around the outside of Tipo, and look at Kyle Pelrine try to follow suit into turn 1. Fontaine leads it. Tipo and Pelrine side by side. Bleach side by side with Bailey. Into 3 and 4. Pelrine's going to try to take the spot on the outside of Tipo. Down the front stretch. Fontaine in the 1J leads it.
Fontaine with the early advantage here. Pelrine almost practically right on his bumper guard, and now he's going to try to move on to the outside to catch him. Dave Bailey started on the back of the pack. He has now moved on up in the 3rd. Tipo is holding up there into 4th. 2 laps into heat number 2. Jason Fontaine, your leader, side by side between Pelrine and Bailey.
Pelrine sent it in a little bit too hard again. He gives 1J of Fontaine a bump there through 1 and 2. Got a piece of him in 3 and 4 as well, as Pelrine really committed to that outside, and the way he can just point it down the hill, he really powers the car down as he clears Bailey down the front stretch. Dave Bailey still committed to that inside line. The Brewster Baker 49 car trying to work over the 47 on the high side. That's Kyle Pelrine. Can't do it. Bailey's going to have to drop back off. So it's Fontaine out front. Pelrine and Bailey are top 3, breaking away from this one, coming to halfway.
Halfway through heat number 2. Jason Fontaine still holding on to the lead. Kyle Pelrine right there in the mix there. He's trying to stay on that outside line to catch him. Dave Bailey on the inside of Pelrine. He's going to stay on the inside line to try to catch. Jason Fontaine still your leader.
Fontaine on the inside. He has a comfortable lead, but not too comfortable, as Pelrine is right there if he slips up. Bailey has to settle in behind Pelrine. He's been looking to the inside a few times up off of 3 and 4. Hasn't been able to make anything stick. Look at Fontaine now. He's trying to drive off in the corner, but Pelrine is right there. Both Pelrine and Bailey able to close in on corner entry, but off and into the straightaway is where Fontaine is really making up his time. And that last time down the back straightaway, as we see the white flag wave, Fontaine in the 1J really checked out on this field. Now he's got a comfortable margin this time through 1 and 2. Pelrine has to deal with Bailey, who's right alongside. Now Pelrine's able to clear. Looks like he's going to be able to hang on to that 2nd spot. Fontaine takes the checkered. A good start to his birthday night. 1J of Fontaine wins it over Pelrine, Bailey, Tipo, and Bleach. You're rounding out your top 5. McKay and Friesen going to lead him to green. They hit the blue noodle in 4. They put the power down, and look at the 20 all over the back bumper of Friesen. Good move from Mallory to the inside of Friesen. Can't make it stick, but he still comes away with 2nd through 1 and 2. McPherson around the outside now. Here comes Cody McPherson in a Willard Concrete and Trucking. Lucky number 7. He's up to 3rd. McKay makes a little bit of contact there with, I believe, the 108 of Bleach, and that's going to bring Bleach to a stop. McKay and Bleach come together, and we are under yellow. Curtis Friesen punches the gas, and we're back underway. Green flag in the air. Friesen cuts up in front of Mallory, covers off the spot. McPherson down low, trying to find some grip on the inside. Here comes Justin Sharp, nowhere for the 8S to go. He backs out of the move down the back straightaway and almost makes some contact. A bit of a squirrely turn there from Sharp. That's going to cost him, as here comes Spencer Smolders.
Curtis Friesen holding onto the lead after that restart. Number 20 of Jay Mallory holding there into 2nd. Single file, actually, just about throughout this entire heat so far. Cody McPherson trying to go onto that inside line to catch Mallory. Didn't quite work out for him. Curtis Friesen, your early leader here in Heat 1.
Friesen out front. He runs the low side of turn 1 and 2. Mallory has a look to the outside into 3 and 4. Going to try to set up the move. Mallory not close enough to do anything there. Now he's under fire from McPherson. Halfway at the stripe. It's Friesen, Mallory, McPherson, the top 3. McPherson goes for the inside move on Mallory. Can't make it stick.
Friesen still your leader halfway through heat number 1. Jay Mallory trying to commit himself to that inside line there to catch Friesen. Didn't quite, still not working out for McPherson there in 3rd. 8S of Justin Sharp there holding on into 4th. Coming up on 3 laps to go. Actually, it is 3 laps to go. Curtis Friesen, your leader.
3 to go with Curtis Friesen out front. Mallory starting to reel him in, but not able to do anything. He gets a little sideways up off of turn 4. And now Friesen opens the door once again, but Mallory not close enough to take advantage. Down the back straightaway, Mallory in the 20. Schwiekenkar trying to set the move up on the inside, coming to the white flag. He's not going to get there again. The Reeds Haulage 68 of Curtis Friesen is out front and in control. It's Friesen, Mallory, McPherson in the 7S, in the Lucky 7. Then it's the 8S of Justin Sharp. One more time into 3 and 4. Mallory's not going to get there. Curtis Friesen in the 68 will hang on. He'll take the win in heat number 1. He wins it over Mallory, McPherson, Sharp, and Smulders. Mamo and Vanderzand, and green flag in the air, and it's Mamo with the jump in the Performance Acura Niagara. Number 3N. Around the outside comes the Vanderzand in 74. They're dead even now, maybe a bit of an edge to the 3N, maybe a bit of contact into turn 3 and 4. Mamo trying to hang on to it. Oh no, they're coming together. Mamo gets turned, Vanderzand and gets a piece of it. That should bring out the yellow flag. Yellow flag out. And problems for our front row on lap number 1 as Mamo and Vanderzand had some hard racing. And 74 is real broken on that front end. Tough break for Vanderzand and Mamo. So it's going to be the 2K of Rob Knapp and Daryl Fairway, last week's feature winner. Green flag in the air. Fairway sails it in on the outside. Knapp downstairs. Knapp couldn't hang on to it. And Fairway comes away with the advantage in the Posner Metals ride. It's Fairway on the outside. Knapp trying to challenge there in the 2K. Rob Knapp not able to make it work. Fairway comes away with the advantage.
Daryl Fairway took good advantage of that restart. He is now in the lead after starting out in the 5th position. The 2K of Rob Knapp holding there in the second single file, actually. 1 through 5. Brett Bigelow up there in 3rd. 3 laps into heat number 2. It is Daryl Fairway, your leader.
Problem for Doug Walsh in the 49. He brings it inside the go-kart track and off the pace, off the racing surface. We'll see halfway at the stripe this time with Fairway out front. It's Fairway, Knapp, Bigelow, Smith, and Mamo. Bigelow trying to make a move for second. Can't make it work on the inside line. It's definitely tough to make it work on the inside when you're in a side-by-side battle, especially through 1 and 2. We've seen some passing and good runs through 3 and 4 on the bottom side, but as of right now, it looks like if you want to get a pass done, you got to ride the momentum on the outside, and maybe that would be your way around. Right now, Fairway out front, coming to 2 laps to go.
2 laps to go here in heat number 2. Daryl Fairway, who won last week here in our Sportsman Division, really looking strong here, opening up a 2.5 lead over the 2K of Rob Knapp. Brett Bigelow holding strong there into 3rd. The number 22 of Terry Smith up there into 4th. Coming up on the white flag, the last lap of heat 2, Daryl Fairway looking good here in heat 2.
Daryl Fairway trying to keep the momentum up, not just on the racetrack on this lap, but also just in general after picking up his first feature win in 10 years earlier this season. He followed up with another win last week, and he'll follow it up with a heat win tonight. Daryl Fairway wins it over Rob Knapp, Brent Bigelow, Terry Smith, Noah Mamo, your top 5. Van Mill and Wright on the front row for heat number 3. Pretty even start to this one. Wright trying to come around the outside. He'll take the spot as Van Mill washes up the racetrack, hang on alongside. Now he'll fight back into the inside of 3 and 4. Wright up front. It's Wright. Now Mason trying to make a move for second as Van Mill washes up to second, up on the outside. He'll take it back. Good move from Van Mill. Again, that outside line is the prevailing line, at least through through 1 and 2. 3 and 4, a different story as we see Nelson Mason trying to get alongside Van Mill, but can't make it work.
2 laps in, Trevor Wright, your early leader. Number 1 of Jason Van Mill holding there in the 2nd. Nelson Mason in 3rd. Almost side by side there for the 4th spot between James Friesen and Mitch Dumont. Early goings here of heat number 3. 3 laps in. Trevor Wright, your early leader.
Trevor Wright trying to rally after being involved with a pretty scary incident last week at Merrittville after he was turned in front of the pack and multiple cars were collected. That car looking strong though now. Rebuilt and running again. Halfway at the stripe, it's Wright. Van Mill. Mason doing battle there with Friesen. We'll see what JMF can do on the low side in the Bobcat of Hamilton 72. Down the back straightaway. Mason hangs on the outside of the 35. Friesen trying to find a way around, can't do it. Up front, it's all Trevor Wright.
4 laps to go here in heat number 3. Trevor Wright really looking good out there. A nice ride from him. And Jason Banwell still holding on strong into third. Nelson Mason in third. And Friesen and Dumont brings up the top 5. Coming up on 2 laps to go here in heat number 3. Trevor Wright looking pretty good here in heat number 3. He is still your leader.
Wright's out front, then it's Van Mill, Mason, and Friesen, top 4 single file coming to White. Trevor Wright in the central fabricating, 0-9 out in front, riding comfortably. Looking to pick up another heat win. Out of turn 4, it's going to be heat win number 4 for Trevor Wright in the 0-9. He gets it over Van Mill, Mason, Friesen, and Mitch Dumont in the 28 steals 5th place from Adam Leslie at the last corner. Van Mill and McTavish out front. Green flag in the air, squirrely start from Van Mill. That's going to allow McTavish to get away with the lead. McTavish out front. Van Mill has trouble there with Flanagan as Flanagan takes over second now. Brad Rouse is in the orange 18R tonight, and the white 18S, that is piloted tonight by Todd Gordon. Brad Rouse looking strong around the outside, gets past Van Mill. Lindbergh trying to do the same in the 37S on the inside of 3 and 4. McTavish out front early.
With McTavish with the early advantage. Dave Flanagan Jr. in the 74. He's holding on there into back of the pack at 6th. 3 laps into heat number 1. It is heat number 41 of Boyd McTavish, your early leader.
McTavish out front. Rouse is up to second already. Good note for race fans following along. Todd Gordon's in the 18S. That is actually the Sportsman 18 car for Brad Rouse. So he's just running it to try to keep up the perfect attendance and make sure he gets some points as the season continues along here. Again, Todd Gordon had his car all kinds of torn up in that wild wreck at Oshweekend last weekend. Now Boyd McTavish out in front, but for how long? As Brad Rouse is coming with 2 laps to go.
2 laps to go. Boyd McTavish still out there in front. However, the 18 of Brad Rouse trying to go to that inside line to catch him. Didn't quite work out the way he was hoping for, but he is still committed onto that line. Look at that. He is trying to still go into that inside line to catch McTavish. Not quite working out there. Boyd McTavish still your leader with 1 lap to go.
Leaders take the white flag, and Rouse slipped up that time through 1 and 2. That should give McTavish the breathing room he needs to finish this one up. Out of 3 and 4, Boyd McTavish will see the checkered flag. He'll take the heat win over Brad Rouse, Dave Flanagan, Gary Lindbergh, and Derek Van Mill. Banging wheels off the start. Davidson and Podwinski, wheel to wheel. Davidson's going to come away with the advantage down the back straightaway. Podwinski trying to fight back on the inside now, but he's going to have to deal with fast Freddie Carlton. And here comes the 3 as well of Dalton Slack. Dalton Slack in the 3RS trying to make a move, couldn't make it stick. And Podwinski settles in his second and starts to pull out by a couple car lengths over that battle for third.
Up on 2 laps into heat number 2. Number 73, Dylan Davidson holding on to the lead in the early goings. And the number 3, that is number 3 of 3RS, Dalton Slack up there in second. Freddie Carlton holding up there into third. Ryan Susie up there in third. Actually, way on the outside was the number 73, and the Dalton Slack looked like he took advantage of that, and he is your leader. Couple laps in.
Yellow flag out for Tanner Podwinski, who maybe had something break up off of turn 2 that previous lap, as he went for a wild ride down the D-shaped back straightaway and slowed to a stop in the high side of 3 and 4, interrupting what was a pretty solid race amongst the front cars, especially Dylan Davidson and Dalton Slack mixing it up. Fast Freddie Carlton with a good move to take over third that previous lap as well. Green flag in the air. Slack and Davidson away with it. Davidson around the outside is going to take the advantage down the back straightaway. Fast Freddie Carlton has to deal with Susie there. Slack trying to get back by Davidson in the 3RS, but here comes Fast Freddie Carlton. Look at the move from Carlton around the outside. Carlton will take over second spot, and he's not done there. Fast Freddie trying to make it stick on the inside. Can't get along side of Davidson. Good racing at the front of the pack in this one. Carlton clear to the lead over Dylan Davidson. Davidson all over the tire tracks of Carlton, but it's Carlton out front.
3 laps to go here in heat number 2. Carlton out there in front. Slack and Davidson. Actually, Slack just passed Davidson there for second. Coming up on 2 laps to go here in heat number 2. Fast Freddie Carlton out there in front.
Crazy the changes in momentum we're seeing as Dylan Davidson goes a little too high again that time through 1 and 2. And that is going to cost him 2 more spots as Susie and Chevalier get by. White flag in the air. Fast Freddie Carlton out front. It's Carlton, Slack, Davidson. Excuse me, that's Susie in third now. Chevalier fourth and Davidson fifth now. Out of 3 and 4 for the final time, it's going to be Freddie Carlton. He'll take the win over Dalton Slack in a Transport Sales and Service 3RS. The 38RS of Susie brings it home third. Chevalier fourth, Davidson fifth, and Podwinski sixth. Ferry and Luke Carlton lead him to green. Ferry with a great start. He'll lead him into turn 1. Carlton winds it up on the outside. Ferry opens the door down low. And they're 4 wide. Look at the move from Pete McNell. Fired off of turn 2. And he's going straight to the lead. Now can Carlton fight back on the outside? Luke Carlton will take the lead back down the front stretch. But what a move from Pete McNell as he put it right through the middle. Thread the needle. And he's up to second now with Ferry dropping more spots.
Coming up on 2 laps into heat number 2. Pete McNell with that big move. And now the second there, Luke Carlton holding on strong to the lead. Scott Wood up there in third. Matt Williamson up there in fourth, but he is trying to go to the inside of Scott Wood to catch him. Didn't quite work out there. Getting up on single file throughout this entire heat. Coming up on 3 laps into heat number 3, it is Luke Carlton, your leader.
Carlton leads, Bicknell, Wood, Williamson, your top 4. Williamson trying to make a move on Scott Wood. Wood hanging on in the Henderson's Pharmacy 38. The S&W Service Center, it's number 6 of Matt Williamson trying to get to the inside, but can't make it stick down low. Carlton way up on the outside, but driving away from this field.
Just over a second lead there for Luke Carlton as we are at the halfway point here of heat number 3. Coming up on 3 laps to go. Luke Carlton in front. Pete McNell holding on to second. Scott Wood in third. Matt Williamson holding on there into fourth. Luke Carlton really looking good here. Pete McNell trying to stay onto that inside line, it looks like, to catch Carlton. As we come up on 2 laps to go here in heat number 3. Luke Carlton still holding on to the lead.
2 laps to go. Pete McNell about a half lane lower than Luke Carlton now. He's figured out that he's going to have to move up the racetrack if he wants to find some bite. It's definitely pretty loose stuff down low. Carlton sees the white flag, drives about another half or 2 car lengths away. Luke Carlton down the back straightaway. Pete McNell, does he have enough time to make the move into 3 and 4? Doesn't look like it's going to stick. Luke Carlton will come away with the win. Luke Carlton, Pete McNell, Scott Wood, Matt Williamson, Ryan Ferry, and Tom Neal round out your field of 6 cars in heat number 3 of the 4 pack merchandising 358 modifieds, concluding your heats here.
On the scene since 1949, Fast Eddie was born with a lead foot and a burning need for speed. His passion for speed and sport has been captured in this authentic collection of vintage-themed gear. Created for gearheads, riders, and racers, Fast Eddie truly encompasses the great Canadian racing culture we have from coast to coast. Drive hard, get dirty, and look good doing it. Fast Eddie Speedway. Get geared up.
You're so tasty, drive me crazy, ain't nothing I can do.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Wick perfected fire. Quick Wick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Wick retailer at quickwick.com.
It's Randy Allway and Richard Hadler to lead him to green. The front row can fire together at the blue pool noodle in 4. Flag is up, pedals are down, and away we go in the 4 cylinders. Pagnotta a little sideways on the start. He's at risk of dropping a spot from the second row. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead is on between Allway and Hadler. Hadler on the outside in that 60 car trying to keep pace with Allway. Allway's going to take the advantage. 3 wide behind them for third into 3 and 4. Clinton Barrick's going to slide at the racetrack. They're running out of real estate, but everybody keeps it clean and green on lap number 1 with Randy Allway out in front.
Randy Allway with the early advantage here, side by side for second between Clinton Barrick and Richard Hadler. Trevor DeBoer got himself there into the mix. He started out in 7th. He's now on his way up into 3rd, and he's looking to make a turn there. And Hannah Rothwell a little slow there. She's trying to keep it on the track as best she can. Early goings of this feature race. It is side by side between Barrick and Dave Winiger.
Allway off the pace. Or excuse me, Allway going for the lead. Oh, contact! Wild ride by down the back straightaway. Oh, man. Clinton Barrick and Allway got together. DeBoer almost got the worst of it. Hannah Rothwell, who's the car that was off pace, is taking it pit side. 4 cars under a blanket. Allway trying to fight on the inside for that lead advantage, but Clinton Barrick on the outside is in control. Kenny Hare all over the back bumper, that 09. Trevor DeBoer dropping back off of that 3-car battle for the lead into 3 and 4. Clinton Barrick on the outside looking to clear Allway. Allway slides it up the racetrack. Not going to be fully clear. Now will clear Clinton Barrick to the lead.
4 laps in, and Clinton Barrick is now your leader. Randy Allway holding there in the second. Side by side. Actually, Kenny Hare just moved on up into second, and actually he's making a big move there on the inside to try to catch the number 09 of Clinton Barrick. Not quite working out the way he wanted to, but he is moving at a big pace there. Clinton Barrick still your leader.
Kenny Hare wasting no time after starting on the inside of row number 6. He's already up to second. 3 wide behind him. DeBoer, Allway, and Moulton doing battle there inside the top 5. Pagnotta trying to find his way in. 1 car off the pace in front of our leaders. It's the 5JR. That could cause problems for these lead pack. 5JR up in front and up on the outside of the racetrack. Good job from the lap vehicle to stay out of the fight and allow the leaders to race cleanly on the inside. Barrick, your leader. Then it's Kenny Hare, Trevor DeBoer, Jay Moulton, and Randy Allway, the top 5 as they run.
Clinton Barrick still looking good here on the lead. 5 Camp Kenny Hare, who started out in the 11th spot, is now on up in the second. Jay Moulton, look at him getting up there into the mix. Looking to go to the outside of DeBoer to catch him for the 3rd spot. And he's going to stay on that line to try and do so. Coming up on 8 laps into this feature race, about halfway through, Clinton Barrick is your leader, and it looks like we do have a yellow flag out.
Danny Worster, 44 vehicles off the pace on the back straightaway. That will put us under caution. With Clinton Barrick out front of Kenny Hare, Jay Moulton, Trevor DeBoer, and Vincent Pagnotta. Hare and Moulton lead him back to green. Flag is up, pedals are down, and we're back racing into turn number 1. Kenny Hare on the inside, trying to hold the advantage, can't do it. Jay Moulton's going to get away with the lead, and he's going to try to check out on the field. He's already got a car length and a half advantage. Moulton leads. Hare, Pagnotta, DeBoer, Lafontaine, Clinton Barrick is able to rejoin the field at the back of the pack. Moulton, boots scooting away from this pack. Hare, Pagnotta, DeBoer, and Lafontaine. John Lubeck also lurking there. Wow, look at the bouncing from Kenny Hare as that car went through the corner. Jay Moulton still your leader.
Jay Moulton took advantage of that restart really well. He is now in the lead and beginning to extend it by just that much more. Not a quarter of a straightaway there. 5K of Kenny Hare held there in the second. Actually, it's pretty close there for that third spot between Pagnotta, DeBoer, and Lafontaine, who's getting himself into the top 5. Coming up on 4 laps to go here in this feature race. And Randy Alway out there into the moat, trying to get himself back onto the track. And it looks like he's going to do that. And we have a yellow flag.
Flat right front on the 34 of Alway, and now Cole Hardy's brought it to a stop here. Tough break for the 7C, who is fast in the heat race. Jay Moulton, Kenny Hare, Pagnotta, Lafontaine. Green flag out. Moulton away with the advantage. Then it's Kenny Hare. Pagnotta and Lafontaine side by side for third. Trevor DeBoer lurks there as Pagnotta washes up the racetrack. That might open the door. Here comes Trevor DeBoer. 3 wide battle for third place. DeBoer backs out of it. Pagnotta doing all he can to keep pace with Lafontaine as Lafontaine comes around the outside. And now will challenge Kenny Hare for second.
3 laps to go here in this feature race. Jay Moulton still holding on to the lead after that restart. And look out for the 96 car of Tyler Lafontaine. He's moved on up into second. And Kenny Hare just took that spot away. He's on that inside line to catch him there. Coming up on 2 laps to go. Jay Moulton still your leader.
Moulton out front. Does he have enough? Oh, 1 car slow. It's the 71 of Worstrow. Worstrow's brought to a stop, and we're back under yellow in this one. Austin Worstrow looks like he'll be able to get it rolling, but I think he's got a flat right front. Moulton's going to have to work the hardest he's ever worked to try to hang on to this win because Lafontaine looks bad fast again. Going to be a 2-lap shootout to settle it. Green flag in the air. Moulton away. Jay Moulton, Lafontaine. Tyler Lafontaine looks to the outside into turn 1. Moulton down low. Can't clear up in front of him. Lafontaine's going to get alongside. Down the backstretch into turn 3 and 4. Lafontaine still on the outside. Moulton washes up the racetrack. Side by side at the stripe. Lafontaine's through to the lead. Into turn 1. Lafontaine's going to try to clear on the outside. Can't do it yet. Down the back straightaway, he'll do so. Will Jay Moulton have to use the bumper through 3 and 4? Lafontaine. Moulton looks like he's not going to be able to get there. Tyler Lafontaine hangs on, and he wins it in a shootout. Tyler Lafontaine wins another one in a 4-cylinder. It's Lafontaine, Moulton, Hare, Pagnotta, Lubeck, your top 5. Great drive from Tyler Lafontaine to claim yet another win here at Merrittville Speedway. Out he comes now. Give a call to Tyler Lafontaine. His 7th win of the year, 8th win for the 96 car if you count last week's win for Kyle Rothwell. Tyler, come on around here. Were you worried at all you weren't going to have enough time there because it looked like Moulton up until that last caution was kind of getting away from you?
Yeah, I honestly thought I wouldn't catch him, and then as soon as on that restart, I think he tried to block me because he knows my driving line's on the bottom. He went right to the bottom, but the top was working for me tonight, so I kind of fooled him on that, I think.
Tyler, who do you want to thank for your 7th win of the year?
I got to thank the whole TMR crew, Rob's Transmission Auto Service, APC Auto Parts in Welland, Louisa's Sweet Retreat. Everyone helps out with the car.
Tyler Lafontaine, a winner once again in the Van Sickle Pet Value PV on the lane 4 cylinders. Ryan Anderson, Dylan Slater, Chris Watson, Riley Slater, Leroy Buscombe, Gavin Hill, Chance Kotar, and Greg Zach round out the field of cars in this one. Cohen Corbett trying to come away with the lead, but it's Josh Slater out in front early in this one. Now they're side by side down the back straightaway. Slater noses ahead just barely into 3 and 4, and now we'll look to clear Corbett. Josh Slater's going to lead lap number 1.
Josh Slater with the early advantage. Cohen Corbett out there in second. 26 car of RJ Pitts is there into third. And pretty close there, up there for the 5th spot. In the early goings of tonight's Ronald OH Modified Light feature, Josh Slater out in front with the early advantage. Good ride from him so far.
Josh Slater out in front by almost a half straightaway advantage already. Then it's 6 cars under a blanket battling for second spot. Rob Meisner around the outside is making up some great time. Tyler Winger trying to follow suit around that outside. Now it might be 3 wide. Nope, Winger backs out of it, but Meisner keeps the momentum wound up on the outside. Cohen Corbett trying to hold off RJ Pitts. Good racing for that second spot on back. Josh Slater continuing to lead, and then it's Cohen Corbett, Pitts, Meisner, Winger, Iftati, and Bigelow.
4 laps in. Josh Slater really looking good here. He's opening up over a 2.5 lead, almost just about a half straightaway there. Number 32 of Cohen Corbett still holding on into second. RJ Pitts trying to go to the inside line to catch Corbett. Didn't quite work out. He lost some spots there. He's now up there into 4th and got a little issue there with the number 6 car of Rob Meisner, but he kept it on the track. Josh Slater still your leader by about 2 seconds.
Meisner's not going to be happy with the 32 of Cohen Corbett. They made contact that last time going into turn 1 as Meisner was trying to get to the outside of the 32. That forced him way up the racetrack. He was able to keep it going, but he lost a ton of track position as now he is back outside the top 5. Look at the move from Bigelow now. He'll go to the inside of Corbett while Winger goes around the outside. Bigelow and Winger are past Cohen Corbett for 2nd and 3rd. That drops Corbett to 4th. RJ Pitts and Iftati are going to battle there as well. Now look at Pitts make the move to the inside of the 32, and Iftati's looking to the outside. Now Iftati settles back in, and he'll go to the inside, trying to get past Cohen Corbett. All this happening behind your leader, Josh Slater.
Josh Slater opening up nearly a 4-second lead. He's almost beginning to encounter some lap traffic, so he does have to be careful there. Brent Bigelow, who started out in 7th, has moved his way on up into the 2nd spot. Tyler Winger up there in 3rd, single file throughout the rest of the top 5. Nearing the halfway point, 9 laps into this feature race. Actually, it is Josh Slater still out in front by about 3.5 seconds.
Slater leads, Bigelow, Winger, Pitts, Iftati. That is your top 5 as they run. Now Meisner's going to get past Cohen Corbett and take over the 6th spot in the 6 Savage chassis car. Bigelow, last time by, was able to eat a big chunk out of Slater's lead. We'll see what the difference is at the stripe this time as they're finishing halfway. The halfway lap, Slater gets past. And another 2/10. Bigelow is able to knock off another 2/10 that lap. We'll see if it's going to be enough pace to catch Josh Slater, who's out in front of this one.
Coming up on 8 laps to go here in this feature race here for the Ronald OH Modified Lights. Josh Slater still out there in front, but Brent Bigelow is closing in. It's now a 2.5-second lead for Josh Slater, as it was over 3.5 not long ago. Tyler Winger still holding on strong to 3rd. The number 27 of Sean Iftati in 4th. And RJ Pitts runs out the top 5 so far. 7 laps to go. Josh Slater still your leader. Really looking good out there.
This is vintage Josh Slater. This is what some race fans have come to know from the driver of the 17 Tender Cuts meets 17 race car. Look at this car looking strong up off the corner. Now again, he's starting to work into lap traffic, and Bigelow is coming. Bigelow down to a 1.7 second advantage as Slater is now going to encounter the 8 lap car of Hill. One car going sideways up off a 4. Great save from Kotar. That's going to stack up the lap cars in front of Josh Slater though. Slater's going to get past the 8 of Hill. We'll see if Slater's going to have enough time to hold off Bigelow, as Bigelow is coming. Last time another 2/10 for Brent Bigelow. Brent Bigelow is almost there. Good racing amongst the lap cars. I think we're going to have a battle for the lead in about a lap or 2.
4 laps to go. Slider still holding on to the lead, but Brent Bigelow is closing in on him with every lap passed. And now they are encountering some lap traffic, so they do have to be careful there. Coming up on 3 laps to go. Josh Slider still your leader, but look out for Brent Bigelow. He is right there with him. It's going to be an exciting finish.
2 lap cars battling in front of Josh Slider. Slider now has Bigelow all over his back bumper into 3 and 4. Bigelow is just able to get into the corner so much better than Slider. Slider being real cautious around the lap cars. Goes around the outside of Kotar, who's going to spin, maybe make contact with Bigelow. Wow, that got real tight up off of 2. Bigelow able to keep going. If there was contact, it was minimal. Now Bigelow all over the back bumper of Slider. He's there, coming to the white flag. 1 more lap to settle in the Rona Deutsch modified lights. Bigelow looks high into turn 1 and 2. Slider commits to the bottom. Down the back straightaway. Slider's got about a car length and a half. Look at the run off the corner though. Bigelow sails it in on the outside. Josh Slider bogs down in the center of the corner. It's going to be a drag race. Josh Slider's going to hang on by the narrowest of margins. Great racing between Josh Slider and Bigelow as more cars get a little bit sideways in front of our leaders. It's Slider, Bigelow, Winger of Toddy, and RJ Pitts, your top 5 in a dandy of a Rona Deutsch modified light green. Green to checker race. Wow. Impressive stuff from the mod lights. And give a call to tonight's winner in the Rona Deutsch modified lights. It's Josh Slider back in victory lane. Well, that was exciting. I don't know how exciting it was from your driver's seat, but that got real close with Brent Bigelow, your team car. Tell us about the drive and holding off that 16.
I made a terrible decision on gear, and I had to shift the last 10 laps, but as soon as I saw the 16 on the board, I knew I just had to downshift and get the pull off the corner because I was nowhere near on gear, but it worked out all right.
Who do you want to thank for the drive here tonight, Josh?
I got to thank my dad. He came over a couple nights this week. We changed the rear end in this car. We've been chasing problems with this car since it was new. We couldn't get it to rotate properly, but it seems to be a little bit better now.
Josh Slider, your winner tonight in the Rona Deutsch modified lights. Give a call once again to the driver of the 17.
On the scene since 1949, Fast Eddie was born with a lead foot and a burning need for speed. His passion for speed and sport has been captured in this authentic collection of vintage-themed gear. Created for gearheads, riders, and racers, Fast Eddie truly encompasses the great Canadian racing culture we have from coast to coast. Drive hard, get dirty, and look good doing it. Fast Eddie Speedwear. Get geared up.
You're so tasty. So pretty, so drive me crazy. Crazy, crazy. Ain't nothing I can do.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickwick.com.
Getting ready to go with Teeple on the outside of Couture. Flag is up, pedals are down, and away we go in the Hoosier Stocks. Birthday boy Jason Fontaine thought about making it 3 wide by going to the middle, couldn't pull a move off. Somebody who is looking 3 wide is the M1 of Rob Murray. Murray down low, trying to make, oh wow, what a move. That could have got real dicey. 4 wide up off the corner. Is this gonna work? Good racing, beating and banging. Pelrine and Bailey get together. Bailey's got some nose damage hanging off now. Great racing from the Hoosier Stocks, and look at that. The 1J of Fontaine's going to come away with the advantage after a wild lap number 1. Murray settling into second here as Pelrine is going to be battling with Bailey and Jim Lampman. 3 wide for third.
Jason Fontaine 2 laps in with the early advantage. The M1 of Rob Murray out there in second. About a 3-car battle there for the third spot between Lampman, Pelrine, and the 49 car of Dave Bailey. 3 laps in, almost some contact there with Lampman in the number 28. 3 laps in, it is still Jason Fontaine, your leader.
1J of Fontaine out front. Then it's the M1 of Murray. 3 wide once again for third as Bailey trying to get around Jim Lampman in the 28 who's in the middle, and Kyle Pelrine's up on the outside in the 47. Bailey to third. Lampman back to fourth. Pelrine now trying to take that spot from Jim Lampman. He goes low. Lampman goes high. Side by side up off of corner number 2. Down the back straightaway. Here comes Pelrine. Battles on for 4th place. Battles on in front of them as Bailey looks to the outside of Murray. Meanwhile, Fontaine will continue to lead. Then they're side by side for 2nd and 4th.
5 laps in, Jason Fontaine still your leader. Look out there for the 49 car of Dave Bailey, who's moved on up into 2nd. The M1 of Rob Murray trying to go on to the inside of Bailey to try to catch him. Didn't quite work out that way, but look out for Dave Bailey. He's going way on the outside there, almost hit the moat to try to catch the lead. And now he's side by side with Fontaine, 6 laps in.
Fontaine moving up the racetrack, trying to force Bailey to go to the extreme outside. Tight racing, and Bailey still will come away with the advantage as Fontaine dives back onto the inside. They make contact through 1 and 2. Bailey washes up the racetrack. He'll have to surrender the lead. Fontaine takes the lead back. Murray lurks there in 3rd. Down into 3 and 4 now. Bailey goes to the inside. Fontaine to the outside. Here comes the Brewster Baker Queenston Chevride of Dave Bailey to the inside of the 1J of Fontaine. They duel for the lead into turn 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, Bailey is through to the lead, and here comes the Murray M1. 1J versus M1. Fontaine on the outside. Murray down low. Good racing amongst the leaders. Murray's going to have to bail out for now.
9 laps in, almost at the halfway point of this Hoosier Stock feature. It is a 3-car battle for the lead, with Dave Bailey just out in front over Fontaine and Murray. The 28 of Jim Lampman out there in 4th. Bleach up there into the top 5. Kyle Pelrine in 6th. Dave Bailey really looking good here halfway through tonight's Hoosier Stock feature.
Fontaine has settled into 2nd position. The birthday boy, Jason Fontaine, would love to break through for a win. It's Bailey up front. Then Fontaine in the Club 54 Racing 1J. The M1 of Murray looks to the inside again. Can't make the move, sticks down low. Lampman's going to wash up the racetrack. Jim Lampman will drop 4th place to Zach Bleach as here comes young Donnie Lampman and Kyle Pelrine into the mix.
Coming up on 8 laps to go, Dave Bailey still holding on to the lead, opening up over just a 2nd lead over Rob Murray and Jason Fontaine, who are now side by side just about there. Fontaine just going there into 2nd. Zach Bleach moving on up there into 4th. Jim Lampman up there in 5th. Coming up on 7 laps to go. Dave Bailey still looking strong here. He is your leader by over 2 seconds now.
The 37 of Bean into the pits. Bailey leads. Murray. Fontaine. Bleach. Jim Lampman still hanging on to a spot in the top 5. Murray looks fast, but he just hasn't been able to make the move on the 1J of Fontaine, and that is allowing Bailey to just run away with this thing right now as we're going to be coming to 5 to go in the Hoosier Stocks.
5 laps to go here in tonight's Hoosier Stock feature tonight at Merrittville. Dave Bailey opening up about almost a 3-second lead now. Almost a full straightaway lead over Fontaine and Murray. Zach Bleach still holding on strong there into 4th. Jim Lampman up there in 5th. 4 laps to go. Dave Bailey really making it look easy here with 4 laps to go here at Merrittville.
Bailey cruising, but the battle continues to rage between the M1 and the 1J. Murray now is going to drop off the side of the 1J of Fontaine. Fontaine out in front in 2nd of this battle. Don't look now. Zach Bleach is starting to catch these two as Bleach would like to make it a 3-car battle for 2nd. Bailey still out in front. Great racing for the 5th spot behind them as well. Pelrine, Jim Lampman, and Donnie Lampman putting on a show for 5th place.
Coming up on 2 laps to go. Dave Bailey out there in front, but the real battle right now is going on actually for that 2nd spot. Jason Fontaine still there in 2nd, but the M1 of Rob Murray and Zach Bleach battling out side by side there for 3rd. And Bleach trying to move up there in the 30s on that outside line. Coming up on the white flag, Dave Bailey, your leader.
Bailey out in front, took some damage early in this one after making some contact, battling through the mid-pack after starting 9th. Excuse me, 8th. Bailey's gonna rally. Comes off a turn 4th. Dave Bailey picks up another win in the Hoosier Stocks. Who's gonna grab 2nd? Jason Fontaine will win it. 3rd goes to Murray. 4th to Bleach, and Kyle Pelrine brings home that beautiful 47X ride in 5th. Good racing again from the Hoosier Stocks, flag to flag. And climbing out a winner once again, it's Dave Bailey in the Queenston Chev 49. Give a call to Dave Bailey. Inspecting the damage. That's, I believe, the result of some of that 4-wide action you found yourself in on the first lap. Tell us about surviving that and finding your way up to the lead.
Yeah, just whatever these guys did at the racetrack at intermission there, it really helped out. And it was super fast and super racy, and when you have a good racetrack, you can have a good race.
Who do you want to thank for the drive once again here tonight, Dave Bailey? Another win.
Yeah, obviously I got to thank Queenston Chev, Jibs Action Sports, and anybody who supports us, and thanks to Merrittville for giving us a place to race on Saturdays.
Dave Bailey in victory lane once again in the Hoosier Stocks. Knows how to get it done at Merrittville. Flag is up, pedals are down, and away we go in the Sportsman. Van Mill on the inside, Friesen on the outside. Curtis Friesen winds that 68 Reed's haulage race car up on the outside and takes the lead down the back straightaway. Van Mill trying to fight back on the inside. They're side by side up off of turn number 4 to the stripe. It's Friesen with the advantage over Van Mill.
1 lap in, and Curtis Friesen, your early leader. Side by side there between Jason Van Mill and the 8S of Justin Sharp out there for 2nd. Sharp looking to go onto the outside there to catch that 2nd spot. Didn't quite work out the way he was hoping for. Trevor Wright and Nelson Mason there in the mix as well. Early goings of tonight's feature. It is the 68 of Curtis Friesen, your leader.
Nelson Mason hauling the mail around the outside, trying to work to the outside. Now he goes a little too high. Mason's gonna wash up the racetrack, and he'll drop 2, maybe even 3 spots now as Cody McPherson in the 7's gonna start to battle there with the 35. Meanwhile, back at the front of the pack, Friesen leads it. Sharp 2nd, battles on for 3rd. Wright trying to take it on the outside. Van Mill in the 1 down low. Wright in the 09. Not gonna be able to clear this time. He'll fight back on the outside into turn 1 more time in an attempt to clear Van Mill. Down the back straightaway, Trevor Wright takes over 3rd spot.
Coming up on 5 laps in, here are the early goings of this feature, and we do have a yellow caution flag out.
Nathan Petey loops it in turn 1 and 2, and we are under yellow with the 49, also making his way into the pits there, Doug Walsh. You Pick Auto Parts Pace Truck is in. Sharp and Friesen, your front row. Friesen is the control car. He fires it on the outside. Green flag back in the air, and the Sportsman. Into turn 1, Sharp on the inside. Friesen goes to the extreme outside, about as high as you can run without washing out the racetrack, and he uses that momentum to clear Sharp. To the lead goes Curtis Friesen. Now Sharp has to deal with Trevor Wright down low as the 09's trying to make a pass for 2nd. Good racing amongst the top 5 as they're side by side behind the battle for 2nd. McPherson's going to take over 4th, and Mallory trying to follow him on the inside of Van Mill. Well, Friesen continues to lead. Then it's Wright and Sharp side by side. Give the edge to Sharp at the stripe.
Curtis Friesen still your leader after that restart. 8S of Justin Sharp moving on up there in the 2nd, side by side. For 3rd between Cody McPherson and Trevor Wright. Cody McPherson started out in 10th, and now he's going to move on to the inside line to try to catch him. Didn't quite work out the way it was hoping for. Curtis Friesen still your leader, 7 laps in.
Curtis Friesen out in front, then it's Justin Sharp. Trevor Wright doing battle there with Cody McPherson. McPherson down low in the 7. The 09 of Wright up on the outside. They do battle down the front stretch now. Still side by side is McPherson trying to clear the 09 of Wright. Wright gets a good run on the outside that time. He's back even with McPherson. Into 3 and 4. McPherson down low, right, up high. Good battle for third place, and it's still raging on as now McPherson finally able to clear right.
With Friesen still holding on to the lead. The battle was going on there for the third spot, but Cody McPherson managed to take that. And Justin Sharp is still there. He's going way outside to stay onto that second spot. He'll do just that. Single file 1 through 4, actually 1 through 5, I should say, with the number 20 of Jay Mallory in 5th. Curtis Friesen still your leader.
Sparks flying a little further back in the pack as there's tight racing from about 10th on back. Friesen out front though. Sharp still hanging on to second in the Blue Moon Potatoes ride. Then it's Cody McPherson in the Willard Concrete and Trucking 7. Cody looking to make the move on the inside of Justin Sharp. McPherson down low. Still good battle for that second spot. McPherson not able to clear, but he is committed to the bottom side tonight. Meanwhile, pretty much most of the field has moved up to the top side. Friesen leads it, he's running the top side. Sharp is upstairs hanging on to second. Gonna see halfway at the stripe this time for Curtis Friesen. And now McPherson's gonna be able to clear Justin Sharp for second. Sharp's gonna fight back on the outside in the 8S. Points it down the back straightaway and pulls alongside. McPherson clears him again. Cody McPherson up to second, and does he have enough to go up and challenge Curtis Friesen for that lead?
Past the halfway mark of this Right Choice Auto and Leisure Sportsman Division feature. Curtis Friesen still holding on strong there in the lead, but look at Cody McPherson with a big head of steam getting into the lead, and actually Justin Sharp is going up there as well. Look at Justin Sharp trying to go to that inside line to catch McPherson. Didn't quite work out. Friesen is down into third. 10 laps to go in a feature race. It is now Cody McPherson, your leader.
Friesen looks like he might have just got a little bit too high. Nathan Peaty was up there as well, the lap car. I'm not sure if that played a factor in Friesen either, but either way, McPherson and Sharp are able to slip by, and Friesen drops to third. So now it's McPherson and Sharp to settle it, but not for second for the lead now. Cars making contact down the front stretch. Adam Leslie banging around there with Smulders and Van Mill. That a little deeper in the back of the pack, just outside the top 10. Meanwhile, McPherson's moved up to the top side after running the bottom for most of this race, and Sharp, I think, is the better car if these two continue to duel on the top side. Look at Justin Sharp. He closes the gap up off of turn 4. This race is far from over.
Coming up on 7 laps to go here in this feature. Cody McPherson still holding on to the lead, but Justin Sharp is right there with him, trying to find a line to catch him there. Curtis Friesen just a little bit further back, but he is all there in third now. Coming up on 6 laps to go, Cody McPherson, who started out in 10th, is now into the lead, but look out for Justin Sharp. He is right there with him.
McPherson starting to check back out on our second place driver, Justin Sharp, but now he'll have to deal with lap traffic as Dan McKay in the 13 Home Hardware race car is first up for McPherson to put down a lap. McPherson does so easily. Justin Sharp now, that last lap dropped another 2/10 off the lead. We'll see if he's able to close up at all on this lap. Coming to 4 laps to go in this one. At the stripe, McPherson pulls out another couple of tenths advantage. Cody McPherson starting to check out on the field.
About 4 coming up actually on 3 laps to go here for Cody McPherson, who is still holding on to the lead. Justin Sharp is trying to swing a little bit further wide to the outside. Almost didn't work out there. He's out there in the second. They're actually beginning to encounter some lap traffic, so they do have to be careful there. Battle's still going on there. Justin Sharp is trying to find a good line there. He's still on the outside. Coming up on 2 laps to go, Cody McPherson still your leader.
The previous lap, Sharp was able to take 3/10 off of Cody McPherson's lead. That time by, though, he dropped a 10th. Cody McPherson's gone back to the bottom side, and I think that is where his race car is running the best. White flag lap. The difference at the stripe, 1.1 seconds. Sharp goes to the extreme outside, can't make up the ground. McPherson's got the Dumont vehicle to put down a lap. Out of turn number 4, it'll be checkered flag number 4 for Cody McPherson at Merrittville Speedway. He wins it over Justin Sharp. James Friesen ends up 3rd, Jay Mallory 4th, and Trevor Wright 5th. Give a call to Cody McPherson climbing back out of the race car in victory lane in the Right Choice Auto and Leisure Sportsman. White suit, that's a bold choice for a dirt car driver here, Cody. Tell us about the drive, and you put on a great show, especially dueling there with Justin Sharp.
Yeah, you know, I knew the top was good. I seemed to be one of the only cars that could really roll at the bottom, and you had to hit it perfect to get some drive off, and I was lucky enough to clear them and then go to the top, and then I wasn't really sure where I wanted to run, top, middle, bottom. I was just kind of taking up every lane, making sure if they were there, it was going to be hard to pass me. So, you know, I really got to give a shout out. These 4 guys right here, you know, little guys, I think they're 11, 12 years old, working their butts off over in the pits for me, cleaning the car, changing tires. So I really got to thank all of them. And then Rick Belante, he's helped me too. And then all my sponsors, Willard Concrete, Trucking, PVM Hydraulics, Beaverlock Farms, Brian's Tire, C. McPherson Jr. Trucking, Rick's Delivery, Titans Crane, Normie, Niagara Trailers, Hitchman Trailers. I got a lot, but couldn't do without all of them.
Cody McPherson, a winner once again. That's win number 4 on the year at Merrittville Speedway. Great year so far, and it's not only getting started. You pick Auto Parts Pace Car is in. The 72 of Podwinski is going to miss the start of this one. Flag is up, pedals are down, and away we go in the Core Pack Merchandising 358 Modifieds at Merrittville. Around the outside comes Luke Carlton in the 26. He goes to the lead down the front backstretch. Boyd McTavish takes over 2nd. Good battling in the middle of the pack as they're jockeying for position. Carlton leads Wood. Then it's Fred Carlton, Boyd McTavish, and Gary Lindberg is up to 5th.
Luke Carlton with the early advantage here. Everybody moving pretty well here so far. 38 of Scott Wood was there in 3rd, however. Fast Freddie Carlton right there on the inside to catch Scott Wood almost there. Early goings, it is Luke Carlton, your leader.
Gary Lindberg already up to 4th after starting 8th. He's doubled his track position already. Picked up 4 spots, 4 more spots to go if he wants to take the lead. First up is Scott Wood, he'll do so. Lindberg to 3rd, Wood trying to fight back. Crossover move coming, can't get to the inside. Scott Wood's gonna settle back in line. Lindberg takes over 3rd. Luke Carlton, Fred Carlton, your leaders early in this one. It's Luke Carlton, Fred Carlton, Lindberg, Wood, and Flanagan, the top 5.
The Carltons 1 and 2 so far. Luke out there in the lead, followed by Fast Freddy in 2nd. Gary Lindberg started out at 8. He is trying to go to the inside of Fast Freddy Carlton to get to 2nd. Didn't quite work out there. Scott Wood still holding on to the 4th. 74 in 5th. Luke Carlton still your leader here in the early going.
Just outside the top 5, Boyd McTavish trying to take over 5th spot in the 41. Meanwhile, the 42 and the 6, those two are no strangers as of late, and once again, they find themselves side by side. Bicknell and Williamson doing battle. 3 wide for a brief moment as Bicknell tries to go down low underneath McTavish and Flanagan. McTavish, oh, contact, Flanagan and Bicknell turn. Chevalier looks like he's gonna get a piece of it. Everybody's gonna keep it going, but we're gonna go yellow. Yellow flag out on the racetrack. And the all Carlton front row will lead him to green. Green flag in the air, and Gary Lindberg's gonna make it 3 wide. He'll have to bail out, but he continues to go to the inside of Luke Carlton. Fast Freddie Carlton's gonna get around the outside. Fred Carlton to the lead. Luke Carlton to 2nd. Lindberg settles into 3rd. Here comes Susie out of the nowhere. He's gonna challenge the other 38 in the field, Scott Wood, for 4th. Wood will hang on to the position for now.
The Carltons still battling it out there for the lead. Freddie actually just had a big head of steam there to get the lead there. Gary Lindberg, he just got a big head of steam there to move on to 2nd. Also look at Susie. He got up there pretty fast as well to get himself there into the mix. 9 laps into this feature race, actually 8. It is Freddie Carlton, your leader, Gary Lindberg in 2nd.
Williamson made a big move down the front stretch, and it cost him down the back straightaway as Williamson goes to the outside through 3 and 4. On the extreme outside is Matt Williamson trying to take over 4th spot from Luke Carlton. Susie settles into 3rd. Lindbergh up to 2nd. They're all chasing Freddie Carlton down the back straightaway. It's Carlton, Lindbergh, Susie Williamson, and then Luke Carlton hanging on to 5th spot as Scott Wood trying to take over that 5th spot now. One car slowed down the backstretch. It was Flanagan. He keeps it rolling. And Carlton still out in front over Lindbergh, Susie, and Williamson.
Freddie Carlton still your leader. Gary Lindbergh still there in 2nd. Side by side between Susie and Williamson for that 3rd spot. Williamson trying to go onto the outside to catch Susie. Didn't quite work out for him there. And Luke Carlton still there in the 5th spot. 11 laps in, it is Fast Freddie Carlton still your leader. Look out for Susie. He's trying to make a move onto the inside along with Lindbergh.
Lindbergh goes down low to cut off Susie. That allows Williamson to close in now. Matt Williamson around the outside. He'll pull even with Susie through 1 and 2. Now Susie edges ahead down the back straightaway. Williamson, everybody closing in on leader Freddie Carlton. Wow, around the outside, Fast Freddie Carlton gets a little sideways. Look at the move from Susie down low. Lindbergh slides up in front of Williamson. 4 cars under a blanket for the lead in the modifieds. Fast Freddie Carlton, then it's Gary Lindbergh, Matt Williamson to 3rd now, and Susie settles into 4th. 4-car breakaway at the front of the field. Freddie Carlton still hanging on. Williamson to 2nd now as he goes around the outside of Gary Lindbergh. Lindbergh fights back on the inside. Now it's 3 wide for 2nd as Susie gets down low. Freddie Carlton says, keep on racing, boys, and maybe even wreck each other. I'll drive off with it, but none of them are really letting them get away. As Williamson clears to 2nd, now Williamson cuts to the bottom side. He'll get in front of Lindbergh and pull even with Carlton. Down the back straightaway they go. Freddie Carlton still hanging on to the lead. Williamson upstairs. Lindbergh down low. Susie. Good racing amongst the top 4. Carlton still barely hanging on to it as Williamson is there. Williamson slide job in front of Carlton. Freddie Carlton cuts back to the inside. Great racing for the modifieds here. Into 3 and 4. Tight racing from Lindbergh and Susie down low. Here comes Ryan Susie to 2nd. Ryan Susie gets by Carlton. Then it's Williamson out front. Matt Williamson has a couple car length advantage over Susie and Carlton, who now do battle for 2nd. Lindbergh is settled into 4th. Matt Williamson starting to drive away with this one after great racing amongst our top 4.
Halfway point here of our Core Pack Merchandising 358 Modifieds, and boy, I tell you, it has been a very exciting battle here. 4 cars there with Matt Williamson now trying to break away, but look at Susie trying to get to that inside line to catch him. Not quite working out there. Fast Freddie Carlton in 3rd, Gary Lindbergh in 4th. It is Matt Williamson, your leader.
A little further back now, Pete Bicknell trying to break into the top 5. He's working over Scott Wood in the 38. Bicknell down low. That position is for 5th on the racetrack. Williamson starting to encounter lap traffic. Meanwhile, at the front, Matt Williamson up front. 15 laps to go. It's Williamson, Susie, Carlton, Lindbergh, and now Bicknell's going to get by Scott Wood.
Just under a 2nd lead there for Matt Williamson. He is beginning to encounter some lap traffic, so he does have to be careful there. The 38 RS Orion Susie trying to make a move onto that inside line, trying to get as good head of steam as he can to catch him there, and not quite going to get there, but he is right on the trail of Matt Williamson. He is still your leader. Carlton in 3rd.
Lead down to 4/10. Susie is reeling in Williamson. Look at the drive off. Ryan Susie gets out of turn number 2. Down on the bottom side, he's going to try to do the same thing out of 3 and 4 as Williamson goes up the racetrack. I think down out of turn 3 and 4, Williamson's a little bit better. This time, Williamson goes down low and tries to cover off that move. Look again, Susie's able to close right up. Great drive off of turn 2 for the 38 RS. Out of turn 4, though, he doesn't quite have the same jump to put the pressure on Williamson. Williamson downstairs has Tom Neal and Todd Gordon up next to put a lap down. Will Susie be able to get there and challenge as we're coming to 10 laps to go this time? Susie is there on the back bumper of Williamson. Williamson covers off the spot, 10 to go.
10 laps to go. Matt Williamson still holding on strong to the lead. Ryan Susi is right there on his trail. And Williamson is starting to pull away just a little bit there. Gary Lindbergh holding on in there to third, actually to fourth. Freddie Carlton there in third. Less than 10 laps to go. It is Matt Williamson, your leader, but Ryan Susi is right there with him. Don't count him out just yet.
Lap car is actually helping Williamson now as he was able to kind of use Neil as a pick and drive off from Susi. Susi now has the Sportsman 18 in front of him. He'll get around Todd Gordon, who's driving Brad Rouse's Sportsman tonight, to be a part of this field and keep up that perfect attendance, and that is helping Williamson. Williamson starting to check out on Susi. Susi gets around that lapped car and is able to close back in on Williamson. It's far from over.
7 laps to go. Williamson still holding on to the lead. Susi there, right there with them, but they are encountering some lap traffic, so they do have to be careful about that. Gary Lindbergh still holding on to the third. Carlton in fourth. Bicknell is in the top 5. Coming up on 6 laps to go. It is Matt Williamson still your leader, but Ryan Susi is still right there with him.
Susi doesn't seem to have the same drive off out of 2. He might have lost a little bit. Still looks strong, but with these lap cars getting in his way, especially on the low side, it's allowing Williamson to really check out. That time, it's almost up to a second advantage for Matt Williamson now. Susi doing all he can to keep pace as we work with 5 laps to go. Into 3 and 4. Dylan Davidson, the next lap car for Matt Williamson. Williamson's going to go around the outside in the S&W Service Center 6. He'll get around Davidson, and he's starting to really gap Susi now. The advantage up to 1.2 seconds.
And we got a caution.
Dalton Slack loops it in turns 3 and 4, and we are under yellow with 4 to go in what has been an absolute dandy of a modified feature here tonight. And now it comes down to a shootout. Green flag back in the air, and Williamson is checking out on this one. Into turn 1. Susi down low. Will he find that drive off again in this final 4 laps? Into 3 and 4. Williamson goes back to the top side. Susi goes down low. Around the outside comes Matt Williamson. The advantage already 7/10 of a second for the 6. Matt Williamson. Down the back straightaway, it's Williamson, Susi, Lindbergh, Bicknell, and Carlton doing battle once again for that 4th spot. Williamson out of turn number 3 and 4, sees 2 laps to go at the stripe. 2 to go for Matt Williamson. Susi, Lindbergh, Bicknell, Carlton, and Wood doing battle just inside the top 5. Out of turn 4, white flag in the air. One more time around for Matt Williamson. Williamson, Susi, Lindbergh, Bicknell, Carlton. Down the back straightaway and into 3 and 4 for the final time. Williamson's gonna put together a great race, and he'll win the 358 Modifieds. It's Matt Williamson taking the checkers in the Core Pack Merchandising 358 Modifieds. Win number 6 for number 6 here at Merrittville Speedway. He wins it over Susi, Lindbergh, Bicknell, and Carlton, your top 5. Great racing. And give a call to Matt Williamson. He is back in Pleasant View Victory Lane in the Core Pack Merchandising 358 Modifieds at Merrittville. Matt, great race, great restart, but I want to take you back to about the middle part of that race when you were 3 wide, jockeying for position with Lindbergh. Everybody was chasing Freddie Carlton, and Susi was down there giving you trouble too. So tell us about that battle.
Yeah, it was a good race there at the front. I know we were 4 wide for the lead. It's easy when you don't have the 42 in there smashing through the side, yes. So makes it a lot more fun when you can race with guys that you know you have respect for. And, this was the best way to recover from last night is winning another one here at home.
And who do you want to thank for the drive here tonight?
All my crew guys, they worked really hard today. We scaled the car today, put some new stuff to it, and at the end I was hanging on. I didn't know where to be on the racetrack, but luckily my guys were helping me out with where to go with their hands, and it was a good race.
Matt Williamson, your winner once again. He is back in victory lane on Transport Sales and Service Night here at Merrittville Speedway. Thanks for coming out tonight, race fans. We hope you enjoyed the show and shine as well as a great night of racing. On behalf of track owners Don and Lorraine Speece, my co-host William Morrison, I'm Jonathan Howe. Whatever you get up to, we hope the rest of your Saturday night is more than just all right, and we'll see you back next week for the Action Sprint Tour and school bus racing, amongst much, much more at Merrittville Speedway.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of GForceTV. GForceTV would like to thank you for your support and for watching today's broadcast.